Prediction right now at the heart of the AI trade. Software stocks, they're in free fall, and the logic here is that, well, AI works so well, it's going to eat these companies alive. Yet the other side of this is the mega caps. They're building for exactly that, spending hundreds of billions of dollars to make AI that is powerful, and yet they're getting punished too. So you gotta wonder, which is it? AI that is so good it destroys SaaS, but the companies building it are wasting their money? Both of these things, they can't be true. Meta might be the best example of this contradiction. It is spending more on AI as a percentage of revenue. 50 cents on every dollar is going back into infrastructure. Amazon's ratio, it is half of that, with an actual very large cloud business, yet it's the one selling off. Yes, Meta's top line growth, it has accelerated, but CapEx to revenue is growing faster than that. And its operating margins, they fell from 48 to 41 year over year. Free cash flow fell 15% last year. And given what they're planning to spend this year, it could get cut in half or much worse. Now, I spoke to someone who sits right in the middle of all of this, Vercel CEO Guillermo Roche, who builds on top of OpenAI and Anthropic. He said that a one-person billion-dollar company is well within sight. So the market may be selling the old winners and the big spenders, but leaving room for a whole new set of companies it hasn't yet priced in.
Artificial intelligence, AI businesses, have been important drivers of overall stock market gains in recent years, owing to their phenomenal revenue and earnings development. Nvidia has led the surge, with its stock increasing 11-fold since the beginning of 2023 alone. Nvidia continues to see unprecedented demand for its industry-leading graphics processing units, GPUs, for data centers, which are the primary processors utilized in AI development. On February 25th, investors will receive a new sales update when the business releases its operating results for the fiscal 2026 fourth quarter, which ended on January 25th. The news may influence the path of the stock, which is now trading 10% below its all-time high. While most investors will properly focus on the company's revenue and earnings, I believe there is another important statistic to monitor on February 25th, which is frequently forgotten. All attention will be on Nvidia's GPU sales. The company's impending fourth quarter operating performance will cap off its best year yet, with total fiscal 2026 sales likely to reach $213 billion, according to management's most recent guidance. Almost 90% of that income will have come from the data center segment alone, which includes the company's AI GPU sales. Nvidia's current GPU generation is built on the Blackwell and Blackwell Ultra architectures, which outperform the company's original Hopper-based AI GPUs, such as the H100, by up to 50 times. Demand for the Blackwell platform continues to surpass supply, but investors have shifted their focus to the next version, known as Rubin, which Nvidia introduced last year. According to the business, the Rubin architecture is so strong that developers will be able to train AI models with 75% less GPUs, lowering inference costs, the cost of models ingesting prompts and generating replies, by up to 90%. Rubin GPUs are presently in production and will begin shipping to clients in the second half of this year, with Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet among the first to receive them. The February 25th report will most certainly include a new update on Rubin's commercialization, and because it is expected to drive significant growth for the company in fiscal 2027, investors will rightfully pay close attention. The most important number to watch on February 25th. The AI revolution has met a few speed bumps in recent weeks. Microsoft, for example, is seeing relatively low adoption of its Copilot AI assistant in some critical areas. For example, organizations have added Copilot to less than 4% of their enterprise 365 subscriptions, Word, Excel, Outlook, and others, which is one of the reasons the stock fell following its most recent earnings report. There are also concerns that the leading startup OpenAI would be unable to meet its financial obligations. For example, it has made orders for $281 billion in data center capacity with Microsoft Azure, and another $300 billion with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. However, the startup's annualized revenue is just $20 billion, so unless it experiences significant growth or gets a truckload of cash from investors, it will be unable to pay its financial responsibilities. That takes me to a critical figure to watch in Nvidia's upcoming report: customer concentration. During the company's fiscal 2026 third quarter, which ended on October 26th, only 4 mystery clients accounted for 61% of its total sales of $57 billion. Its client concentration has increased dramatically. During the prior quarter, its largest customer accounted for only 12% of total revenue, with only 3 customers accounting for more than 10%. This poses a significant danger for the organization. Assume Microsoft is customer A, which is hard to know but realistic, and it must reduce its AI data center spending because a big customer, such as OpenAI, is unable to meet its financial promises. That will result in a significant decrease in revenue for Nvidia, which it will likely be unable to compensate. Nvidia's stock appears cheap, but investors are definitely wary. As previously stated, the company is currently down 10% from its all-time high and trades at a price-to-earnings ratio, PE, of just 45.9, a significant discount to its 10-year average of 61.5. This means that investors are cautious right now, but the company's February 25th report could change that, especially if it alleviates fears about consumer concentration. History shows that this is the most likely outcome because Nvidia stock typically performs well after management issues its quarterly earnings reports, and CEO Jensen Huang frequently portrays a very optimistic picture of the company's long-term future. As a result, while investors must stay watchful as usual, the stock's current price makes it difficult to ignore. In 5 years, I believe it will trade higher than it does now. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. The Semiconductor Industry Association announced on Friday that global semiconductor sales are likely to reach $1 trillion this year. The association, which represents the majority of U.S. chip makers, stated that chip sales will reach $791.7 billion in 2025, up 25.6% from the previous year. That brisk expansion is projected to continue this year as big technology companies across the world invest hundreds of billions of dollars in data centers for artificial intelligence. Nvidia, Advanced Micro Devices, and Intel produced advanced computer processors, which were the fastest growing and largest segment of chips. Sales of those products grew by 39.9%, reaching $301.9 billion in 2025. The second largest category was memory chips, which are becoming increasingly expensive due to an AI-induced shortage. Memory chip sales increased 34.8%, reaching $223.1 billion. However, the AI boom has spread to practically every sector of the chip industry, with John Neufer, president and CEO of the Washington, D.C.-based Industry Association, reporting that executives at a number of smaller enterprises voiced excitement for 2026 when he recently visited Silicon Valley. "No one knows what's going to happen with the AI build-out a year from now, but my orders are absolutely full," Neufer told Reuters. "At least for the next year, we're on a very good glide path." CoreWeave stock went public over a year ago, in March 2025. It has been a significant stock for artificial intelligence, AI investors to watch because of its tight partnership with Nvidia. It provides organizations with access to processing capacity and Nvidia's leading CPUs, making it an appealing investment if you believe in the AI market and Nvidia's continued dominance. Nvidia has also invested in CoreWeave. Recently, it expanded its investment in the company by $2 billion. The show of confidence has boosted CoreWeave's stock, which is currently up 26% since the beginning of the year. Should you buy the AI stock as well? Nvidia has nearly quadrupled its investment in CoreWeave by investing another $2 billion, or around 23 million shares, becoming the company's second largest investor. The financial flow will help CoreWeave expand its capacity and data centers, putting it in a better position for future development potential thanks to AI. However, whether this makes the stock a safer investment remains debatable. CoreWeave has struggled to create profitability despite tremendous top-line growth. The company's sales tripled to $3.6 billion in the first 9 months of 2025, but its net loss of $715 million was only 12% smaller than the $812 million loss it had in the same time the previous year. While CoreWeave's stock has risen sharply this year, investors should exercise caution. Because of its close ties to Nvidia, its performance will be determined by how well the computer behemoth does. And rather than adopting CoreWeave as a proxy, you might be better suited buying in Nvidia. Just because CoreWeave's market capitalization is lower does not imply that it has more potential. Nvidia has previously invested in startups that did not perform well for investors, such as SoundHound AI, from which it eventually exited. SoundHound would eventually plummet by 50% last year. At the end of the day, it's critical to conduct your own analysis of a stock before purchasing it, rather than relying on the actions of another investor or corporation. CoreWeave does not appear to be a very appealing stock to own based on its fundamentals, considering its lack of profitability despite its phenomenal growth. Despite President Donald Trump's permission of Nvidia's export of H200 chips to China, the sales are apparently still awaiting final approval from the U.S. government. The U.S. government is currently assessing the licenses to verify that the right conditions are attached. The Commerce Department has concluded its research, but the State Department is apparently pushing for stronger limitations, according to a Financial Times report published on Wednesday. The State Department is presently undertaking a national security evaluation before issuing licenses to Chinese customers. During Advanced Micro Devices' earnings call on Tuesday, CEO Lisa Su stated that the business is awaiting U.S. licenses to supply the MI325X processor under the same December arrangement. Chris McGuire, Senior Fellow for China and Emerging Technology at the Council on Foreign Relations, told the outlet that the State Department's worries highlight real and significant national security dangers that should not be dismissed. Meanwhile, Chinese clients are postponing orders for Nvidia's H200 chips while they await clarification on licensing approvals and any applicable constraints. In December, Nvidia's CEO, Jensen Huang, reached an agreement with Trump that increased hopes for Nvidia's return to the Chinese market, which Huang says could be worth $50 billion per year. However, formal permission from the Trump administration arrived in January. The delay in final certification of Nvidia's H200 AI chip sales to China might have serious consequences for the company's market share and revenue. Alibaba Group Holding Limited introduced a high-end self-developed AI chip through its T-Head unit, intending to reduce reliance on Nvidia. Earlier in January, Beijing reportedly cleared the import of the first batch of Nvidia's H200 chips during Huang's recent trip to China, with 3 large Chinese internet enterprises receiving initial clearances. This was followed by rumors that DeepSeek, a Chinese AI startup, was looking to buy Nvidia's high-end chips, despite initial concerns about declining demand. According to the latest news, China's industry and commerce ministries have issued licenses, while the National Development and Reform Commission, the country's top economic planner, is still completing the criteria. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
But let's just get your thoughts on the market. Obviously, we're stabilizing. We've seen a nice bounce back, particularly for some of these chip stocks. Climbing out of this route, we've seen this 3-day tech slide and sell-off here. Even some of the softwares are catching a bit this morning. Just talk us through what you're seeing there.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing around 82% of the stocks in the S&P 500 in the green so far. And actually, if you're looking at the Mag 7, what's really dragging that up at this point is Apple as well as Nvidia. Nvidia has been up over 5% in the session. But the Mags ETF, last time that I checked, was still actually negative on today's session. It's still down about 0.8%. So you are maybe still seeing some issues or some pressure when it comes to some of these names, especially if you're looking at Microsoft. Not that really great of a price action for this morning. But the broadening out trade is kind of back into effect. We did see that kind of losing a little bit of momentum yesterday. Consumer staples moving to the upside fairly aggressively here. You also have other sectors like some parts of consumer discretionary that's actually doing pretty well. So we just have to be able to hold these levels. Volatility is still relatively elevated. We have a 19 VIX, and you are still seeing very low liquidity within the market as well. So wide price, aggressive price swings both to the upside and downside can occur. I think it's going to be a win for the bulls if they are able to recover the 69.30 level on the S&P 500 this week, close above that. I think you get a little bit more confidence that maybe we're going to be able to hold. For now, technically speaking, hit the 100-day moving average for the S&P 500. Not surprising that we do see a bounce that next day. I think the follow through next week is going to be critical for this market.
Okay, so the VIX has backed off for us this morning. Amazon, though, KG, I mean, while we are seeing chips rebounding, Amazon's down 9%. As you and I were discussing when we broke these numbers yesterday, the quarter didn't look good. $200 billion in spending this year. I mean, the market's still not convinced. So that takes us to a total now of $650 billion from Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Alphabet. But as we've seen, some have been punished, some have been rewarded, but the market is looking for that justification. They want to see if they can back it up. What's your read on the moves we're seeing today, and particularly when you take a look at some of the Broadcoms, the AMDs, which are gaining off the back of this on the expectation they'll be beneficiaries of all this money?
Yeah, I would say that the market is a little bit concerned when it comes to the CapEx spend, and even the companies that were initially rewarded, like Meta, I think that's the reaction that you're talking about, actually has reversed all of those gains and then some since that earnings announcement. So the CapEx spend is ramping up. For Amazon, their guidance moving forward, you are still seeing maybe revenue coming in slightly lower than the street's expectations when it comes to guidance, maybe a little bit of a deceleration, kind of trend to what their commentary was laid out within that earnings release, as well as the conference call here. And it might be a little bit of concern. I mean, some of these companies are going to get fairly close to not having positive free cash flow if this rate of change for CapEx spend does continue. That also then means that probably multiples do come in here a tad bit. So a concern for this market, kind of talked about it this morning in Morning Movers. Sam, this is more like a kind of a rolling correction that we are seeing in this market. A lot of the froth is being taken out. Software already has seen a correction. Microsoft is already seeing a massive correction as well. And so a lot of these multiples are taken out, but the fact that we have a broadening out of this market is also giving us a little bit more confidence that we can actually remain at these current levels, at least right now. If we do see a sell everything type of an event, that's where I think it gets really aggressive for the S&P 500 for a pullback here. But CapEx, definitely going to be on the radar for the next couple of quarters.
There have been moments